Hi, Nigel here with the Drive Wire, and this is the Grand Wagoneer L Obsidian trim. And yes, we have tested it before, but not with this new Hurricane Inline 6 twin turbo. So today we're going to find out if it's actually a worthy replacement for that trusty V8. So the L, as you are probably well aware, stands for both larger and longer, and it is in fact a foot longer than the regular model. It also has an additional 7 inches between its axles. Now this is a good thing because you get 44.6 cubic feet of space behind the rear seats. The bad news is it weighs 6,800 pounds, and that doesn't include Grandma and her antique collection. So let's get straight to what's under the hood. And it isn't the V8, the 6.4 litre V8 with 475 horsepower and 455 foot-pounds of torque. Instead, it's this straight 6. It's an inline 6 twin turbo, which has 510 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque at around 3,500 RPM. 0 to 60 takes around 4.7 seconds, some half a second quicker than the V8, and fuel economy is slightly improved, and I say slightly because it's about 1 to 2 miles per gallon. Do not expect this to be an economy car in any way. So in order to carry as much stuff as possible, it is shaped like a brick, and I think color matters here. I do like this white, but I like the fact that it's broken up by this black trim, black mirrors, there's black at the front grille, and then this black roof. Not every car looks good with a black roof, but I think this one works just great. So how much for all this real estate? Well, this is the Obsidian package, which is one down from the Series 3, so it is $108,350 and some change, but it does have a lot of stuff on it, including cooled and heated rear seats, sunroofs, an amazing stereo system. We'll go into that when we go inside the car. And also you get these 22-inch alloy wheels in this kind of nice looking graphite color. Goes well with the white. Again, it's wearing these 285/45 tires. They're Goodyear Eagle Tourings. They're pretty good. They might work a little bit off-road. This has all the bells and whistles, all-wheel drive, hill descent, low range, you name it, it's got it. So as I mentioned earlier, it's got 41.6 cubic feet of space, which is massive. It's got this nice super soft carpet, and then if you open this up, you've got some more room for some groceries and stuff like that. All beautifully made. So you get controls right here, they're motorized, you can put them down at a touch of a button. Put this third row down, you've got 71 cubic feet of space. You put the 2 captain's chairs down and you get 113 cubic feet. It isn't the biggest, but it is still an enormous amount of room for you and your family. All right, so let's test the rear seats here, the third row. Just press this button right here and that moves forward. So I have to say that once you're in the back, these are some of the nicest third row seats that I've ever sat in. You get your own little sunroof here. You can open that up, look at the stars, got your own cup holder, vents, and then this little control right here, you can just recline back. Move it forward a little bit, you can recline all the way back to about that point. And they're very nice, they really are comfortable, and you get a little storage bin right here as well, and it's pretty easy to get in and out of. Just as nice in the second row, if not better. You get your own infotainment screen right ahead of you. This to block out the sun. You can move forward and back if you wish. If you want to give the third row a little bit more leg room. Even with this all the way back, there is plenty of leg room in the third row. And then in here, huge storage space. Right here in the middle, you get this little sliding thing right here. You got 2 different USBs right there. 2 really nice cup holders. And yeah, these seats are nice, plenty of headroom, a really nice place to be. And then of course you also get, the rear seat passengers get this HVAC controller right here. You can control direction of flow. Obviously you can sync, you can change the fan speeds, you can put it on auto. You can also change the temperature on each side. And then here you can add heated seats or cooled seats depending on the weather. And then second row passengers also get this TV, Prime Video, Amazon, YouTube, you name it, you can watch it on here. Keeps the kids quiet. In the front, it just gets better. Super comfortable seats. You can adjust these bolsters. You can adjust them for your back as well. You've got controls for the lumbar support, the top of your back. You can move the headrest around, and you can also heat the steering wheel, move the pedals. You can do pretty much anything. The only thing that I don't like is having the seat controls right here like Mercedes used to do instead of on the seat themselves. So I constantly put my hand down here to change those seats, but you can't have everything. In the front you've got all of your tech, this massive center console. Now I did do a full review of the Series 3, which is one step above the this particular trim, but you do get this really nice screen. It's really fast. Uconnect 5 is always really good. Got heated steering wheel, heated and cooled seats, different zones, etc. Hit home. It's fast. You can go off-road in this. It's got rock, sand, mud, snow, auto, sport settings, and a 4-wheel drive low system, and then some settings to lower and raise the suspension. It's got the air suspension system. It rides really well. So here in the front you've got the Uconnect 5 system, which sort of dominates this center stack. Below that you've got controls for your seats, got a massage function, back bolster, thigh bolster, lumbar in and out, up and down, shake it all about. This thing has got everything that you would need. Going into the vehicle settings, you can pass screen permissions over to the passenger over there. You can also use the surround camera as well. You've got various different modes here. You can look at the back. You can see exactly where we are right now. X that out. You've also just a rear view camera if you need to look to see what's out the back as well. You can fold the second row headrests and the third row headrests without stopping the car and getting out or having to ask your granny to move it. Mirror dimmers and all that kind of stuff in this particular section. It's got CarPlay. It's got great navigation. If you hit home, you can see sort of off-road pages. You've got suspension settings, pitch, roll. We're on not much of an incline right now. And then down here, engine stop start, you can mute everything. And what if I want to charge my phone wirelessly? Well, hit this button right here. That goes up. I pop my phone in there. Again, tons of power. HDMI for the passenger. You've got more USBs, fast and slow. You got the old aux, which comes in handy if you have a really old phone, and then another 12-volt DC. Hit the button again, and away you go. I do like the fact that Jeep puts the lane departure on/off front and center. I hate it, so I always turn it off. And then here you've got your traction control and a bunch of parking sensors, towing, hauling, etc. Really nice cup holders. They hold your containers in really tight. They're rubberized. They're pretty snug. And the driver, just like the rear seat, second row passengers, gets this little sliding area where you can leave your phone. And look at that. More power. So much power in this car. And then if you open this up, you get yet another surprise. It's a refrigerator. So ahead of the driver, you've got the fact that I'm averaging 13 miles per gallon. It's not going to do much better than the V8. Don't buy this if you think you're going to get better gas mileage than the V8, because you're absolutely not. So as I mentioned, it does have these controls here. I don't like them here. It's my other pet peeve. Okay, let's take it for a drive and see how this new Hurricane engine does versus that V8. So first thing I'm going to do, because it's chilly, 50 degrees out here, which is pretty cold for San Diego, I'm going to test out the heated seats. All right, put it in drive, and off we go. Now when I drove it here, it was very smooth. Unlike that Toyota Sequoia that I drove, basically that felt like a tractor. This is beautifully smooth. And we're going over a few little bumpies here, but it's ironed out everything. I have it in auto mode, just because I'll let it figure out what it wants to do itself. And it doesn't feel too big. It is enormous. I did manage to get it into my garage, managed to squeeze it in there. All right, so off we go. First thing you notice, and this is probably something that people are going to miss, noise. That 6.4 liter V8 makes a great noise. this doesn't really make much of a noise. I mean, you can hear it. It sort of makes a noise like a 6, which is not as good. Plus, it's not meant to be really tuned to be a sports car, so I wouldn't expect it to make a whole lot of noise, which is nice. This rides very, very quietly indeed. And the suspension feels a little floaty, but it's not too bad. So the seats, which I've always known in Jeeps to be amazingly good, are now like fire on my backside, and I had to turn it down. In fact, I might just turn it down one more because that's quite hot. Okay, might just turn them off. That was fast. I mean, we literally been rolling for maybe 90 seconds and the seats are already boiling hot. Anyway, let's get our foot down. It definitely feels quick, and it has tons of torque. 500 and something foot-pounds of torque at 3,500 RPM is impressive. The V8 only has 455 foot-pounds, and it hits, you got to be doing a few more revs to get that out of it. Coming out of that corner, put your foot down. Pretty quick. Oh, this is the reason why I'm not getting good gas mileage, because I keep flooring it all the time. I do like the fact that these bolsters, you can squeeze them in, basically it'll accommodate all sizes of people, which is perfect, right? Oftentimes you get these wide, flat seats, and only big people can get really comfortable. I'm sliding around all over the place, but these are really nice and snug. Very impressed with these. One thing that you do get that I didn't mention was you can either use this as a mirror, or you can flick the little switch in the middle and you can convert it to a rear camera, so you get a better field of vision, particularly on freeways where you're passing people. You want to see where people are. And this is a huge car, so it's tough to see. Well, I definitely can't complain about the ride. I mean, San Diego has some of the worst roads ever for potholes, and this thing just eats it up. Even running on these 22-inch rims. Brakes are good too. Nice and progressive. They feel like you can stop a big car, a car that weighs almost 7,000 pounds. Okay, let's see what we can do here. It's quick. It definitely feels quicker. Now the downside, and you may have seen it there, is it has some lag. And this is the problem with a naturally aspirated big V8. There's no lag. Put your foot down, it goes. But this isn't bad, and it's quicker. So if you want more speed, maybe you should buy the 6. Okay, so let's put it in sport mode. Gotta try it, right? And see how it does off the lights here. Yes. So it thinks about it a little bit, and then it goes. But compared with, say, the Cadillac Escalade, not the V version, but the regular Cadillac Escalade, it doesn't feel like it handles quite as well. It's a little sloppier than that car. But that car doesn't really do very well off-road, so definitely a little bit of give and take here. So if you feed in the gas a little bit, then stomp on it, there seems to be a little bit less turbo lag, and the action happens a little bit quicker. But anyway, we're cruising now on the freeway. Apart from the fact that this isn't free, it's a toll road, but we're cruising on this toll road, very composed. So in dynamic mode, the steering is slightly heavier, but has absolutely no feedback whatsoever. You have no idea what the front wheels are doing. You can't feel the front wheels. It's just how steering systems are these days. A little bit of a delay again from going from like 70 to a little bit quicker, and there's a delay on this. There's a little bit of turbo lag going on. It cruises really well. It's very windy today, but this car's not getting, I don't feel like it's getting blown around at all. It's quite high winds all day today. So I'm pretty happy about its stability, its straight line tracking. It's very relaxing to drive. But unlike the V8, which begs you to just stomp on it, this doesn't. I've been, driving for a few minutes now. It doesn't feel like the kind of car that I want to just stomp on it just for a giggle. So in that respect, it's a little disappointing, but its drivability and ease of driving, I think, is better than if you had the V8. Either way, you're not going to be disappointed. The Grand Wagoneer is a great car. It's an expensive car for $108,000 and change, but I really like how Jeep has made the interior. Probably one of the best interiors at this level that I've ever seen. And superbly comfortable seats. Very happy with those as well. As far as I know, these all come in all-wheel drive. There's no option for two-wheel drive on this car, which makes sense. Now, we should really test it off-road, and because it's going to rain all week and it's wearing regular street tires, we may not get a chance to do that. But if we find a chance to get this pristine white car dirty, we'll add it to the video. It gains speed quite fast. A little dab of the gas pedal and you're away past slower traffic. I mean, it takes the turns decently well too. It just, it's just a big car. You cannot expect it to do what a Corolla GR is going to do. Well, I was impressed with the Grand Wagoneer when I first drove it. This one is just the one trim down, but it's equally as good. It's a lot of money, though, to spend, $108,000. Some people do that. So what do we think? Well, the Hurricane i6 engine is the clearest indication that the Hemi V8 is going away, and unfortunately, sooner rather than later. The good news is you can still spec this car with that engine, but I don't know for how long you'll be able to do that. Now, this one is more efficient. It is quicker, better fuel economy and everything else. The only thing it lacks is the soul of that V8 and the noise coming out of the back. Which one would I ultimately choose? If I could get a hold of it, I probably would still buy the V8. More linear, no turbo lag, just brilliant. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time with another video.